Hello grandkids, today we're going to make lasagna. Yes, another one of your favourites. I'm going to show you how to make the pasta sheets with the flour, eggs and salt. That's making it from scratch. Or I'm going to show you another way, and that is how to use the instant lasagna sheets. So here we go. 2 cups of flour, a little bit of salt, make a well and put the eggs in. I use my hands, and you keep stirring the egg in, incorporating the flour. So keep kneading the dough. You can see it's formed this nice ball, and you keep kneading it for about 5 to 7 minutes. Get someone to help you. When you're finished kneading the dough, make it into a nice ball, put a little bit of cling wrap on it, and you put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. While our dough is in the fridge, we're going to make the meat sauce. It's like the red sauce, but we're going to use minced beef. First of all, we turn on a low heat and we put a good serve of olive oil. I'm using leek. You can use onion. Lightly fry the leeks, add in the garlic. Make sure it's not too high. We don't want to burn the garlic. Just slightly cook that down. Then we're going to add in the beef. The beef needs to be browned in the frying pan before we add any liquid. So we add in the beef. Try and just break it up in your hands. I've got 1 kilo of minced beef here. This should make 2 nice sized lasagnas. Now the idea is to break it down. You can turn up the heat at this point and brown the meat. The meat is all browned, so now we can add the tomatoes. Just pop them in. Give it a little stir. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of tomato paste, 2 heaped teaspoons of tomato paste, a little bit of salt and pepper. Give it a stir. Now I add a little bit of stock. About 1 cup is enough. And finally, a stock cube. This is all to give it some nice flavour. Now we're going to put the lid on and we're going to let that simmer for at least 35, maybe even 40 minutes until it thickens. While the meat sauce is cooking, we're going to make the white sauce, which goes in between the lasagna sheets. We need about 100 grams of butter. We put that in and melt it. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of plain flour. But don't add the plain flour yet until the butter has melted. So the butter has melted. I always turn down the heat a little bit. Add about 2 heaped teaspoons of plain flour. And just work it into the butter. It'll make a paste. Cook that off for a couple of minutes. Now we're going to add the milk. Turn the heat down again. Slowly add the milk and keep stirring. Whoa. Keep stirring. I add in about 3 cups of milk for this much meat. Now what I also do, I will use my whisk so it comes out nice and smooth. Once it's started to thicken, I add a little bit of salt, and my secret ingredient, I add a little bit of nutmeg, not too much. Stir that in, and you can add some of the cheese now if you like. I like to add a little bit now, and then the rest when I'm doing the layers. Our pasta dough should be ready. I'm going to take it out of the fridge, and we're going to make the lasagna sheets. So take it out of the cling wrap. I cut it into about 4 pieces. Just makes it easier to work with. Now you will need a fair bit of flour, so sprinkle a little bit more. Just spread the first one out with your hands. You can just use your fingers. Stretch the pasta out, and we're going to put it through the thickest part of the machine. Put it through a couple of times, and then I'm going to change the setting to about a number 4. If you like a thinner sheet, you can go down even to a 5 or a 6, but that's up to you and your preference. I always put a little bit more flour so it doesn't stick. I like to put it through a number 7, and that's the last setting I need. I lay out the pasta on a clean tea towel, and then I repeat with the other dough. We're ready to assemble our lasagna. We've got our fresh pasta sheets, we've got our lovely beef mint sauce, our white sauce, mozzarella cheese and some parmesan cheese. So the first thing we do is we put a little bit of meat sauce at the bottom. Just spread it all around. Then we're going to layer our fresh pasta sheets. These don't have to be perfect. You can use a knife and just cut what you need. Next, we add a little bit of white sauce. Now you can be quite generous with the white sauce because that's what sticks all the layers together. Spread it around. Now we're going to make another layer of meat sauce. And then we're going to put our 2 cheeses. Just spread that. We're going to add our mozzarella cheese all over. And then we're going to add our parmesan cheese. We're going to try and get about 4 layers in here, so let's see how we go. Well, this one's a bit long, so we can just cut that bit off because we can use it somewhere else. Stretch that one, put that there. The meat sauce. Oops, that was maybe a runaway. And lots of cheese on the last layer. Just a tiny little bit more there. So you can be very generous with cheese on the last layer. That gives you that nice cheesy topping that everyone loves on the top of their lasagna. There we go. As I said, I'm going to put that into a hot oven of about 350 or 180 degrees Celsius for about 35 minutes. Just check it. When it's all bubbling and the top is brown, it's ready to eat. I'm going to show you how to make lasagna with the instant pasta sheets. I've taken them out of the box and I've cut some in half. It's the same principle. We put a little bit of meat sauce on the bottom. You might want to be a little bit more generous with the meat sauce because the sheets are dry. They are going to soak up a lot of liquid. So we put one in and then we need about a half. We put our white sauce, same principle as I said. Then the meat sauce, mozzarella cheese, parmesan cheese, and our very last layer. Now this one just might need to be, it doesn't matter if you use overlapping sheets. As soon as we've got them, we may as well use them. Alright, lots of white sauce on the last one. There we go, meat sauce. And our instant pasta lasagna is ready to be cooked as well. This one will need probably a little bit longer because the pasta is dry. So I'd give it about 45 minutes, but always check. There we go. We can use up all that cheese now. And Parmesan cheese. That looks delicious. In the oven we go. We're going to get our lasagnas out of the oven. That looks delicious. That's the first one we made with the fresh pasta. And this is the other lasagna that we made with the instant sheets. And there are our lasagnas, all ready. Best to let them rest for about 10 minutes. We're just going to cut a slice so you can see what it looks like. So enjoy your lasagna as an entree, or you can make a nice fresh garden salad and have it as a main meal. Lasagna keeps well in the fridge and it does taste even nicer the next day.